Welcome back to the Creatives Do Business Well podcast, a space of co-creation for solo creative entrepreneurs just like you, craving that transition from being a struggling artist to a successful creator. Keisha Andrea here. I'm your host, your multi-passionate business sister, and photographer turned holistic brand and content strategist. I tie branding, content creation, systems, and scaling your business back to everyday life. And my goal is to help you not only run a business, but find that sweet balance between your passion and profits and doing business as a creator exceptionally well. Welcome back. If you're just tuning in, this is our third episode in our special bonus series, Go With the Flow, Then Get to Business. This time, we're going to look at the solar plexus chakra, that fiery energy in your upper abdomen that governs your personal power, confidence, self-worth, and how you show up in the world. Think about the last time you sent a proposal to a client or an invoice. Did you feel this wave of anxiety before you hit send? Did you wonder if you were charging too much? Did you add in extras just to be sure that they said yes? That anxiety, that doubt, the need to over deliver, that's your solar plexus chakra telling you something important about your relationship with your own power. So today we're going to explore the real reason you're undercharging, overgiving, and undervaluing yourself. This isn't just a mindset issue or a strategy problem. It's way deeper than that. These things have shaped how you relate to your power. I would tell myself that I was being accessible and competitive by intentionally positioning myself in the middle or the lower end of the market. I was afraid of my power. When clients asked me for more than what we agreed to, I would say yes without even charging more. When somebody questioned my rates, I would immediately offer a discount. Even when I was introducing myself at events or around friends and family, I would downplay my experience, constantly dimming my light, undermining my own authority. I read the books, I did all the research, I even talked to other people and told them to charge more for what they do. But when it came to my own business, I always went back to undermining who I was. What I eventually noticed, it was about my relationship with power itself. I had a deep belief that claiming my power meant taking power from somebody else, that charging what I was worth somehow deprived somebody else of their worth, that taking up space meant somebody else would have less. Have you ever felt that inner conflict between knowing your value and actually claiming that, wanting to grow your business, but still being afraid of what that growth might require out of you? If so, it's time to look at what's really happening in your solar plexus chakra. To understand the solar plexus chakra fully, we need to acknowledge that our relationship with power is shaped by our history, our culture, and the systems that we're navigating. As a Black woman entrepreneur, my journey with power carries a lot of layers. Black women face this double-edged sword when it comes to personal power. If you display too little confidence, you're overlooked and underestimated. If you display too much confidence, though, you're labeled as aggressive or intimidating. And we see it happening all around us. Black women receive way more negative feedback about how they communicate, their performance reviews. We're called overconfident. We're interrupted more often, and our ideas are appropriated. And I just think about people who had elders that cleaned houses for white families, but had to go through the back door. People who had to smile through workplace microaggressions just so they can keep their job. That taught us that displaying power could sometimes be dangerous. And that's stored in our solar plexus is like the code switching or the pressure to be twice as good but charge half as much. How to be confident without triggering these different stereotypes about us or unlearning these internalized messages that devalue our labor and expertise. When I undercharged early in my business, part of me thought that I was being strategic. I believed that my work wasn't supposed to be higher, that clients were doing me a favor by hiring me. Our pricing problems or the confidence issues that we have is connected to these systems and is designed to keep certain voices quiet and certain people underpaid. The good news though, we're here, and awareness is the first step to transforming this relationship with our power. Recognizing these patterns doesn't make us helpless. It gives us power to start dismantling this system. So I'm going to go over 7 signs of solar plexus imbalance so you can know if your solar plexus is blocked. If you're wondering how you would know if your solar plexus is blocked, we're going to go over some common signs that I've noticed around other creative entrepreneurs and things that I've went through in my own journey. So sign number 1, severely undercharging, consistently undervaluing your work. You price below what other people are charging or below what's sustainable for you and what can pay your bills. And you might justify it. You want to make sure that your community can afford this, but it's really your fear of claiming your worth. Sign number 2 is this imposter cycle. No matter how much experience or success you get, you feel like a fraud. You worry about being found out and discount your expertise, even when you know what you're talking about. Sign number 3, you get into this research paralysis. You feel like you need to know every single thing before you claim who you are. You're constantly consuming information instead of trusting what you already know. Learning becomes an avoidance strategy instead of doing what it's supposed to do and helping us grow our business. You could be a coach and take 7 different certifications and still not feel qualified to launch your business. Telling yourself that you need one more training or postponing your launches. Your solar plexus is blocking you from recognizing who you are and standing in that. Sign number 4, hesitating to make decisions. You second guess yourself constantly. You seek all this input from other people or change your direction all the time because you don't trust your own judgment. Sign number 5, you hold back from marketing yourself fully, hesitating to pitch for different opportunities or speak about your work in certain places you know will help you. You downplay your achievements when you're introducing yourself to people. If you're the person that only would submit your work to small publications or avoiding competitive opportunities, telling yourself that you're not ready for that, your solar plexus block is keeping your talents hidden. Sign number 6, you struggle to say no to any client requests, even the unreasonable ones. You fear conflict or disappointing others more than you fear that you're going to deplete yourself of all of your energy. And sign number 7, you'll get this physical sensation in your solar plexus area when you're about to claim your power. That feeling before you send out that invoice with those higher rates, or that tightness that you feel when you're enforcing a boundary, or this gut punch that you feel when somebody questions your authority. This is your body's way of alerting you to that solar plexus activation. You have to decide which way you're going to go. These signs typically intensify when you're triggered in certain ways, like these pricing conversations, these phases of your business where you're growing, the times that you compare yourself with your peers after you just receive some criticism from somebody. I notice it when I start setting boundaries, and you can also notice this if you're in predominantly white or male dominated spaces. You'll see these triggers all the time. And some of these things may have came about for good reason, most likely to protect us in hostile environments. They're limiting your ability to build a sustainable business. When your solar plexus is blocked, you can't price appropriately. You can't protect your energy. You can't share your gifts fully. And you hit these income blocks, not because of your skills and your talent and your gift. Expansion requires owning your power in ways that feel uncomfortable or unsafe to you right now. It doesn't just cost you your financial success. You're going to be exhausted from constantly dimming your light. That resentment that builds when you give more than you receive, that's going to keep you exhausted, and it's going to be a loss to the people who need your full contribution to your work. There's a lot of things that you can do to unblock your solar plexus, but we're going to talk about 2 things. I made it very simple, and it's reconnected me with my worth and my authority. The first step is recognizing the power that you already have. For most of us, especially those of us from marginalized communities, we have been conditioned to overlook our strengths and achievements. So what you want to do is get a sheet of paper and create 3 columns on that paper. In the first column, list at least 10 skills or areas of expertise you've developed in your business. Be very specific. Include the technical skills, the soft skills like communication or problem solving. And then you're going to go over to the second column, write down evidence that approves each of these skills. So it could be client results, positive feedback that you've gotten, projects that you've completed, problems that you've solved in your personal, family, relationships with your friends. Very important to focus on facts, not feelings. And then in the third column, give a monetary value to each of these skills. What would it cost to replace this skill for somebody else? What do others charge who have similar expertise? And don't hold back. Be honest about the true market value of this skill. When I did this, I was shocked. Look at this. Anytime you get into these pricing conversations, these client meetings, whenever you're about to send an invoice or you feel this doubt in your solar plexus, recognize the value that you bring to the table. The second thing, solar plexus is not just mental, it's physical, and our ancestors understood that power that lives in the body. Your physical posture directly affects your confidence levels and how others perceive your authority. So every day, something that you can do that will literally make your solar plexus energy stronger. Stand tall with your feet hip width apart. Place both hands on your upper abdomen, just below your rib cage, where your solar plexus is located. Take deep breaths. Imagine this golden light filling this center with each of those inhales. As you exhale, release any tension or blockage. Then straighten your spine, roll your shoulders back, take up space physically. Hold this posture for at least 30 seconds while mentally repeating an affirmation that resonates with you. Say something like, I'm worthy of charging my full value. My boundaries are necessary and respected. My voice and expertise deserves to be heard. Practice this before your client calls, when you're sending those proposals, whenever you need to access your personal power quickly. What's powerful about this is it goes past what you're thinking logically, which still might hold some limited beliefs, and it directly activates your energetic and physical confidence. Just 2 minutes in the power pose can increase your confidence hormones. For those of us who have been conditioned to doubt our worth or minimize our authority, these practices are especially powerful because they help us to interrupt generations of conditioning that taught us to stay small or be invisible. If you're ready to go even deeper with unblocking your solar plexus and all of the 7 chakras in your business, I created a free resource for you. It's called Get Back in Flow and Get Back to Loving Your Business, a chakra business report card. It'll help you identify exactly where your energy is blocked across all chakras and give you a plan to get back into alignment. That link is in the show notes, and it just takes a few minutes to complete, something that you can refer to over and over again. So I want to talk about what happens when the solar plexus chakra begins to balance itself. The first change is physical. The knot of anxiety you used to feel before sending the proposal is going to gradually go away. You can state your rates clearly without cracking your voice or having these flutters in your stomach. Then the boundaries come. You create clear client guidelines and enforce those without having to apologize every single time. You stop offering discounts when nobody asks for them. You see boundary setting not as something risky, but as a form of respect for you, your personal power, and even your clients who value this professionalism. Your marketing is going to change too. Instead of hiding your expertise, you speak directly about what you know and the results that you give people, not with ego or arrogance, but just from you knowing your own value. Then your relationship with other people is going to change. Instead of seeing their success as threatening to you, which is very common if you are in this scarcity mindset, you start to celebrate them because it's proof of what's possible for you. And there's ups and downs on this journey. It's not going to look a certain way. There's still moments when old patterns come up, especially when you're in new territory or it's a high stakes situation. But when you go through this process, you're now recognizing these moments as opportunities for deeper healing instead of you feeling like a failure. Your power isn't something that you need to earn or prove. It's your birthright. It's the fire within you that's been there all this time. When you undervalue your work, when you shrink to make other people comfortable, when you apologize for your success, you're not just hurting yourself, you're depriving the world of your gifts. For those of us whose ancestors had to camouflage all of their power just to survive these hostile environments, claiming your worth is ancestral healing. You're completing something that they couldn't do because there was a lot of risk involved and you're telling yourself whatever limited them is not going to limit you. I want to invite you to take one step towards reclaiming your solar plexus energy. Notice one area where you're diminishing yourself in business. Maybe it's your pricing, maybe it's in how you communicate with clients, maybe it's in the opportunities that you're hesitating to go for. Notice what's happening in your body when you consider stepping fully into this power. What you feel is your solar plexus talking to you. And then take one small action that honors your worth. It might be sending a proposal without discounting, or enforcing a boundary that you've always been avoiding, or introducing yourself without minimizing yourself at the same time. Take the free Get Back in Flow and get back to loving your business Chakra Business Report Card. The link is in the show notes. About 90% of my offerings are free. This is one of those. It's going to help you to identify exactly where your energy is blocked and give you steps to unblock that. Next episode in this series, we're going to move up to the heart chakra and talk about what to do when you've fallen out of love with your business and how to reconnect with the passion and purpose that got you started in the first place. Until then, remember always to go with the flow, then get to business. I'll see you in the next episode. Happy creating. Thank you so much for tuning in. Love today's episode. Go ahead and show us some love and support by leaving a 5-star review. Catch up with me at Keishandra Creates or Creatives Do Business Well. We want to reach more creatives like you, so be sure to tell your creative business friends and family about us. Don't just talk about it, be about it, and get out there and cultivate your gift and create the sustainable business you deserve.